tensions have escalated in Zimbabwe after a building belonging to academic and author Professor Ibbo Mandaza was destroyed in a fire. Opposition party members were expected to have a briefing in the building about ZANU-PF's attempt to push for a third term in office for President Emmerson Mnangagwa. Police dispersed 3 politicians while they were addressing the media outside the burnt building. Professor Ibbo Mandaza joins us for more. Prof, good evening. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Firstly, I just want to express my displeasure with your building having been burnt, and I'm so sorry that that happened to you. It truly is horrendous. However, take us through the course of events. What exactly had transpired?
Well, first and foremost, this is the second time that we've had Arson on our premises. The last time was 2 years ago, 2023, 10th of August, a fortnight before the elections. The restaurant was burnt down to the ground. We lost a lot of assets at the time. And this time, last night, 2 vehicles arrived at the premises just at about midnight. 2 vehicles with about 10 personnel therein. And they asked the security guard to open the gate. As he opened it, they apprehended him, tied him up, gagged his mouth, and threw him into the van. And the next thing they heard was an explosion. Obviously, a bomb was used to destroy the building into the seminar room in which we have held meetings for the last 35 years. It was destroyed completely to the ground, as you can see in the footage there. And then they left with him and dumped him on the outskirts of Harare. And fortunately, he emerged around midday, having found his way about. So he's safe. We're grateful for that. But the main purpose of the arson last night was to preempt, it appears, the press conference which was to be held at 11 o'clock this morning by civic bodies, opposition politicians, who had united for the purpose to make it known the opposition to the plan to mutilate the Constitution and have Emmerson Mnangagwa more or less have his term extended to what is clearly a life presidency. And of course, they succeeded in part because the press conference didn't take place. Because what the arsonists did last night was to, after they bombed the place, was to lock the premises. 2 padlocks were put in. And this morning, our efforts to get the premises opened were almost in vain. I had to phone the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Mutamba, and complain that we were being deterred from entering our own premises. And our premises will also house medical specialists and the patients waiting to be attended to.
Yeah.
So the whole morning, we were held at bay, and the press conference took place briefly around 1 o'clock, also at the premises, but was disrupted before it had finished.
Yeah.
Basically, the point down here was really the arson. As someone observed in the old days under Mugabe, the intelligence officers would be taking notes as press conferences are taking place or discussions as we have had over more than 35 years. They would learn, as did other bodies such as diplomats. But now you have had, under Emmerson Mnangagwa, this spate of violence, thugs hired to intimidate the public, to scare the public, And the whole intention last night was simply to scare us into silence. I think it's too late for them to do that.
Yeah.
We are beyond that.
Is there any recourse at your disposal, and are you able to pursue that?
There isn't, because as I said, 2 years ago, we got nowhere, even with the insurance, because the police were not able to produce a report. They told us in confidence they knew we had done it, and they were too afraid to produce a report. And likewise today, they were confiding in us that the people who do this kind of stuff are really beyond their purview. And
on whose instruction are
these?
On whose instruction are these people doing this, Prof?
Well, the allegation that they are working straight from the president's office and are paid from the president's office. They take the orders from the president's office, and the police have no control over them. These are allegations, but one tends to believe them, because clearly, as happened 2 years ago, likewise now, there's likely no action will be taken, no arrest. I mean, they spend more time with about over 200 police officers around the premises all day today, and there was no talk about pursuing their assailants at all, you know, and there's no talk about the assailants.
Just very lastly,
their objective was to stop the press conference, to harass the democratic forces, but not to attend to what is clearly a terrorist act on our premises. Second time.
Just very lastly, we're out of time, so I need a very brief answer on this. Following the coup of Mnangagwa on Mugabe and the start of what became the Mnangagwa administration, he had promised the world a true, the start of true democracy in Zimbabwe. Would you say that has held true to be the case?
Well, the evidence is there for everyone to see. Nothing like that. Nothing at all.
Yeah, we're going to have to leave it there, Prof. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. That's Prof. Ibbo Mandaza, the owner of the building that has become the subject of arson following a attack on the building.